Hey guys, what's up? Pitmarthroy here, and welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. In the last episode, we dealt with quite a horrible chapter indeed. But still, we defeated one of the 4 riders of Daein, so that's always cool. So with Patrine down, there are only 3 left. For those of you that don't remember, we have Bryce, who served under the previous king, the Black Knight, and also, I can never remember his name. He's a guy that's not much is known about him, and he quickly gained favor with Ashnard once Crimea fell, but regardless, we are now at Chapter 24, Battle Reunion. I kind of like this map and hate it at the same time. You can already tell it's got a couple ballistas. There's a third one you can't really see, which is at the very bottom of the bottom left of this map. But here we are at Castle Delbray, and we're having a little bit of conversation here between Bastion and Geoffrey. I know it looks like his name is Jeffrey. It does, but it's not, because in Radiant Dawn, there's a little bit of announcer. You know how we're on that map with Crimea and Daein, like at the very beginning? They have that map. Well, in Radiant Dawn, they actually have an announcer with it, and he does pronounce Geoffrey's name like that. So it's not Jeffrey. I know it really does look like it, but it's not. What's really strange is also the fact, since I played Radiant Dawn before I played Path of Radiance, I was not used to Geoffrey wearing all green armor, because in Radiant Dawn he wears blue and white armor, so whenever he wore that chartreuse green, I was like, whoa, that's not normal. So yeah, Delbray Castle is essentially where all of the resistance is. And then it talks about how Bastion dressed up as a street performer. But he would. Geoffrey, never seen a merchant with such perfect posture. He does. He, like, stands up straight, like, in both of his picture and his sprite in the game. Well, not really so much his sprite, but, you know, whenever you turn the animations on, he's, like, perfectly straight. It's hilarious. But, yeah, Lucia and Alencia grew up together. Because, keep in mind, Alencia's existence was never made known to the public until, you know, up until now. So, she didn't really have to hang out with all the royals, so Lucia was really close with her, so it seems like essentially they're best friends, so she can feel more at ease. And once again, Oscar's our MVP, go figure. But he's just that good, so I don't mind if he's our MVP. We have some support and some info here. I'm gonna start with info, friend. Oh, yes, this one. Yep, Marcid Malikov. Oh, no. Brother tried stealing from her purse again. So obviously he's tried to do it before. I'm being crippled and no one cares! I don't care, you know. I'll give up gambling. I'll work hard and repay all my debts. So Malikov is apparently saying he will give up gambling. And then, say Marcia, what is it, Malikov? You want to bet on how long I can keep? I promise I'll give you 4-to-1 odds. Ah! Malikov, you're never going to learn. He never does either. Just for the record, like, even at the end of Radiant Dawn when they tell you what happened to all the characters, it says, surprisingly, he was never fired. This support really wasn't that important because I'm not going to be using Tornado, but this talks about how Tornado had a son that looked a lot like Rolf. His son's alive, but, you know, he's an adult now, so apparently a lot of people have green hair, which is kind of cool. But yeah, he divorced his wife and she took her children with her, so haven't seen him since. And then we have Lethan Ranulf. I like this conversation because, like, apologies are meaningless unless they are backed up with deeds. It's like, she's even mean to her own commander. That's awesome. Well, not really mean, but, you know, she's to the point. It's one of the reasons I like Lethan, because she's just so straight to the point, to the point where it's like, a lot of people think it's mean, but oh well. And then she complains, of course, about Bjork. They wear so much armor. Is there another one? No, it has not shown up yet. Okay. Let's see. Go to EXP. And who's the lowest? We'll give some to Khalil, mostly because Khalil's pretty low in stats overall. But that is such with all the units that start out pretty far ahead of some of the other ones. Like Mia would be a much better unit than well, maybe not much better than Stefan, but would probably be better than Khalil. Because typically the lower you start out, the more room you have to improve. And I also didn't realize Boyd was that low. Only 9? I figured he was like somewhere around 13. Good, get some speed. That's what I'm talking about. And we'll just give him the rest of that. And I don't think... Nope, no skills to assign. That's good. Let's see. Oscar needs some more weapons here. We'll give him... Well, don't give him the Flame Lance. Do not do that, by the way. Flame Lance is awful on any character. I'll give him the Spear. I'm also going to switch Steel Lances here because I don't want that running out. Which I don't think it would with a combination of the Night Killer, but oh well. Okay, let's see. Do they have Elwyn's the shop? Probably. Or the armory. Yes, they do. About now in the game, they're probably going to have every single spell available, but you'll notice that one time it didn't have Thunder. But if you think you're going to run out in like 2 turns, you ought to at least buy one more, or in 2 battles, just in case. Not going to use Tornado, not going to use Ranulf. I actually am going to be using Har, though. Let's give him a Steel Axe, a Killer Axe, and a Tomahawk, I guess. That'll work. Vulnerace, of course. And for what you want to give to him for his equipment, always give him the Full Guard, because that negates the bonus damage. And especially in this next battle, because it's got Ballista in it. And keep in mind, dragons are still weak to arrows. So, that is very, very important. The Ballista will probably do somewhere around 2 to 5 damage, as opposed to about 23. That's kind of an annoying thing about this chapter, is it can make Har look really, really weak when in all actuality he's not that bad at all. Alright. What are we doing on Forge stuff? We got Oscar's stuff set up. We have Stefan's stuff set up. We are going to have to get Har's axes forged, so let's go ahead and do that. Silver. Just build it all up. Change the name, sure. I almost always change the name, typically, just so I can remember who it was supposed to go to, which it really doesn't matter which character gets it, since I always upgrade them as far as they'll go with everybody, but just in case. Of course, the color doesn't really matter, because we're not turning the animations on. Interestingly enough, if you want to if you are keeping the animations on and you want to change the color of your weapon or whatever, you can actually go to the forge and then craft a weapon. Like, for example, let's say you want an iron axe that's green, but it's you don't want to pay a lot of money for it. You can just go in. He'll ask if you want to forge. You just click on the axe. Don't upgrade any of the stats. Change the name, and then it'll let you change the color, and it costs the same amount that a regular weapon does. Okay, did I miss anything? Don't think so. So, let's begin. And now it's raining. Wonderful. Listen, friend, you've asked me that same question 58 times and I've responded 57 times. But now, 58 times and on, you need to calm yourself. Silly Joffrey. Must do something. Blast, it's no good. I'm gonna go check on stuff. Oh, Joffrey, so impatient. And yeah, if you couldn't tell, Bastion is a sage. I think I've already said that, but regardless. They're here, I see them. What? Really? Dun, dun, dun. That's them, isn't it? The Princess Army? I don't think so. Show me where you're looking. Just points with the lance. Those are Daein troops. What? No! Oh, they're all the way over there. They can't make it up this hill. Well, the Dragon Riders probably could. And Bastion ran all the way over here. Castle Debray is being surrounded. No! Oh, the horror. So yeah, Lucy and Bastion essentially say we need to bail while they're protecting us. And Ike is like, no! Because, you know, they're allies, so might as well try to get them back. Maybe we're far much more stronger than the enemy is, so let's do it. So we're gonna, if you're worried about the princess, I can keep her with you, or you can keep her with him. We shall start the battle. You do get a couple of allied units here. You get 2 snipers, 2 horseback units, a Valkyrie, a halberdier, and then Geoffrey himself. This music is so freaking cool! Alright. You don't need thieves for this map, but you can probably already tell that I'm not using Ranulf. I am going to be using Har. And that looks about right. So I'm going to put racing over here. That looks like it'll work. Wait, actually, no. Go back and change one more thing. Let's see, these are mostly snipers and then lance users. A couple of bow users, but they're not really that much of a threat. Let's put Har right there. Okay, there we go. Here's the boss for this level, Rickard, who you actually do not have to beat. The condition for this, which I believe is arrive in 15 turns. And the only way you fail that is if you don't arrive in 15 turns, or Ike dies, obviously. But I don't expect either one of this to happen, because you can honestly end this map in like 6 or 7 turns. If they wanted a challenge, it should have been arrived in 10 turns, but oh well. So, this is a little bit like the bridge at the beginning, in the aspect that you need to just essentially clear out all the enemies at the beginning. And there's nothing fancy about it other than the fact that you need to make sure that if a unit does survive, a red unit, then you need to make sure that they can't reach any of your weak units, like Mist or, I don't know, not really Rolf, because Rolf can dodge so well, but you see my point. The thing you're going to want to do on this map is essentially split your forces up. I usually take Ike, Boyd, and either another axe user or somebody who can take a fair amount of damage, like maybe Oscar, or even Rolf, really, and take them to the left and then send everybody else north. Because the boss on this map does move, but only once you get close to him, so there are 3 ballista. One of them cannot reach it. One of them cannot reach you. Yeah, they can't reach you at the beginning. One of them will always go for the allied units over there on the top, and then that one will always go for you. Like I said, really, the ballista aren't that much of a threat, except for maybe to Har if you didn't give them the full guard, but if you did, then they're no threat at all, really. There are 2 houses. One's up there, and one is at the very bottom left, which you'll have to fight the boss to get through, probably. And both of them give you skills, I believe. But there are bandits on this map that show up, but they show up late enough to where you could probably get the skill and be out of there long before they ever reach the house. You don't have to worry too much about the partner units here. They're really not that bad. Surprisingly, they're not that bad, because you'd expect them to be. But for the most part, they'll usually be able to take out all the enemies without losing anybody. I'll typically lose like one of the snipers, and then maybe one of the horsemen. And sometimes the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie has an elixir, so she can heal herself. But sometimes she's not smart enough to use it. And typically the partner units will go for the person that's easiest to kill, which is usually the soldier, because they have pretty bad stats overall. Yeah, go Geoffrey. Geoffrey is, by the way, he uses lances and bows, in case you were wondering. So he'd be the same as Oscar if I chose to give Oscar the bow upgrade. Of course, everybody already knows that no matter what upgrade I give Oscar, I just stick to lances, because that's his forte, so... Here we have a conversation where Lucy and Bastion decide to go out into the field of battle. Really not that important, but it just shows that you get 2 new units. So first off, we have Lucia, who's a level 12 Swordmaster. I don't really understand why they gave her the Laguz Guard, but they did, so... yeah. Her stats really aren't that fantastic. Ironically enough, she can wield the Rune Sword and the, yeah, this is comparison. Honestly, she can wield the Rune Sword and also the Wind Sword pretty well. It's kind of surprising, which is... I mean, for only 12 magic, she does a really good job with using them. So I guess if you don't have anybody else to give it to, you can do that. But really, I would not recommend Lucia. If you've got Stefan, he's probably better. If you've trained up Mia, she's probably better. And then we have Bastion, who's not really that good either. Level 13 Sage. He comes with Elwind and Stiletto. The Stiletto will tell you right off the bat that he chose knives for his upgrade as opposed to stabs, which is not smart at all, once again, just like Khalil. He comes with Corrosion, but it's really not that great, so... But yeah, his stats are really bad. I mean, look at Soren's compared to his. Soren is level 14, and he's capped out skill, resistance, almost capped out magic. Soren's magic is at 27, and his is at, like, what, 19? And Soren's only 1 level higher, so... Really, Bastion's not that great. The only thing I use him for is this map, just to weaken enemies. Oh yeah, Lucy has Parity, which is kind of stupid. Basically, Parity, if you activate that, it will take you and the opponent and remove all the skills and support bonuses and all that stuff and just make the enemies fight on ability alone. Which, it really doesn't make any sense, because you don't get more experience or anything for it, so... If it did that, it'd be worth that every time, because you'd still be better than the enemy unit. Granted, it would be more of a disadvantage against you than it would for the enemy, because the enemy doesn't have support bonuses, but... It's mostly used just to dodge the terrain effects sometimes, like, you know, hiding in a bush or whatever. So, let's just get rid of this guy. No problem. Sorry, took a sip of my Coke right there. Yeah, Brave Sword. Well, it's not really Coke. Powerade's not a Coke. But it's in a Coke bottle, so... let's see. Soren right there. Oh, that guy does have a ranged weapon. I thought he didn't. Oh well, he probably won't hit me. Not with a 24% accuracy. Or whatever it was. I think it was in the 20s, so it really wasn't great. No problem. Yeah, that's where the bandits, I believe, show up. And I think also some Wyvern Riders show up there later. But they're really not that much of a threat either, so you don't have to worry about them too much. Let's see. We don't have any other units that are really able to do that, so I guess I'm going to have to get rid of them with Oscar. Night Killer! And Soul! I still want to take Oscar down this path, though, so we'll just move him back. And let's just get rid of the sniper. You'd think for being a sniper, he'd be able to dodge a warrior really well, because warriors really don't have that great of an accuracy. I mean, I know Boyd's a good unit, but compared to other people's accuracy, he should not be as good. Alright, let's hope this works. Yeah! Alright. Har gets a lot of criticals with the Killer Axe, so it works well for him. That would have done a lot of damage normally, but since he had the full guard, it only did 2. Like, Har is not fantastic in this game, and most people will tell you that, but if you get to play Radiant Dawn, Har is freaking amazing. He is a tank. Like, the only thing he is really weak to in Radiant Dawn, because in Radiant Dawn, arrows are not super effective against the flying units, or at least not the dragon units. But pretty much the only thing Horror's weak to in Radiant Dawn is Thunder Mages and Sages. And once he classes up, even those probably won't do anything. Like, he can break pretty much the entire game. He can kill bosses without even having to worry about anything. He is just incredible in the sequel of this game. He's still good here, but not as good. Because a lot of the units get changed around, like I've already said before. Oh, really? Well, there goes one of the snipers. The only good thing about having a lot of Myrmidons attack these guys is the fact that most of them do use lances. I mean, the only ones that don't are the Valkyrie, and I guess Geoffrey doesn't have to. But bows don't really have a disadvantage to lance users. But of course, the allied units are not smart because they're going for soldiers just because they're easier to kill, even though the Myrmidon are closer. I don't think it matters if they reach the arrive square, but I'm not sure because I've never had it happen before. Because Geoffrey will always guard that square right there, so there's no getting to the arrive square unless you kill him. And Geoffrey dying is actually not a defeat condition, strangely enough. But I'm assuming if he dies, then you'll never get him for your team, so obviously you don't want that. Alright, let's get rid of this guy so Boyd can actually get through here. As you can see, Har's just fine with the Tomahawk as well, so he seems to get really bad upgrades or like stat increases whenever he levels up every time I use him, so hopefully that won't happen this time. I mean, he's still fine even at level 20, it's just, that's kind of annoying. Just put these two up here. These guys do not have range, so don't have to worry about that. Put Stefan over there, because they're probably going to go Stefano. That's what you should call him, Stefano. You know, Stefano, let's get the heck out of here! Alright, and I thought I'd be able to, well, I bet Leith can probably reach that house up there. Yes, she can. This is obviously the easier of the two. I just skipped the conversation because it's not worth it, but it's basically talking about how we're saviors for coming back, so, you know, of course they give you the skill Savior. For those of you that don't know or don't remember, I don't know if I've gone over this yet or not, Savior, whenever you pick up somebody, it lowers some of your stats, kind of like whenever Ike was carrying Leanne, he lost like half his speed and half his skill. Basically with Savior, you don't have to worry about those penalties. So if Ike was carrying Leanne, his stats still would have been the same. It's okay, but it gets outshined by a lot of other skills. But if you have to do a lot of rescuing in the game, then it's really, really good. And Stefan just tore that Berserker, or whatever he is, to shreds. That was a very smart mercenary going on the heel hedge right there. Alright, come on, boy, don't miss. Come on, get him. Okay, now, I don't understand that at all. He wasn't fast enough to double that Myrmidon, but he was fast enough to get rid of the Swordmaster? That's weird. Oh, well, whatever. Sure why that happened though. Archer versus Sniper. Of course the Sniper does more damage. It still astounds me that a whole bunch of the units here are still class 1. Like, just barely. They're like level 20 class 1 units, but you think they'd just get them all to class 2 by now. Silly game. Okay, good. The Valkyrie was smart enough to heal herself. It doesn't really matter if you keep the Valkyrie around, but she does have the best accuracy of everyone, so for a Myrmidon on a heel hedge, that may not be the easiest thing in the world to get hits on him, so yeah, those Dragon Riders appear. I don't know why the camera zooms in on that really strange spot, but it does. So let's get rid of the bandit. Very nice. Hoping these Dragon Riders don't have range. Which they probably do. They'll probably have like a javelin as an extra thing. So we'll put Rolf right here and hope they go for him. They probably won't, but worth a shot. Let's go ahead and get rid of this guy. Can we reach that ballista user? Yes, we can. Okay, good. This ballista over here isn't a gigantic threat, but still take it out, obviously. Because if you don't, then you may end up regretting it later. Especially if you're taking racing up this path, because if you do that, then you forget racing could easily be killed. Racing's evasion is okay once he gets level ups, but it's not fantastic. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a couple more Dragon Riders down there, but they'll come to you, so don't even bother going back for them. One very important thing that I forgot to mention is do not, and I mean this, do not leave any of your units at the start of this map. You'll see why later, but do not do it. Like, you can leave them over where Lucy and Bastion are, just don't leave them, you know, really, really close to the bottom. Just move them up a couple, after you've beaten everything on like turn 3 or 4, just move them up a couple of spaces each time. And then, you know, you won't have to worry about it. Alright, very good. And now let's get rid of that ballista user. Goodbye. Silly archer. Yeah, the last one's got a sniper on it, so he's a little bit better. But yeah, all those guys right there, they will, they'll move if you're not, or if you do get too close to them, so watch out for that. Alright. Yep, he does have range. Probably a javelin or a short spear, one of those two. Yeah, he went for Boyd. I figured he would, because Boyd has lower defense than Ike, and probably much more so than Har as well. Yeah! Get rid of that Myrmidon. Hiding in a heel hedge like a coward. I don't know what this guy's doing. Yeah, way to get him. This is probably going to end in a lot of failure for the partner units right here, because they're probably all going to miss. Except maybe the sniper. See what I tell you. The sniper's a longbow sniper too, so... Well, he did hit him, but he didn't kill him. Kinda wish he had, but oh well, can't be helped. Alright, let's see, how far can this guy go? You see, this is where that ballista would have been a problem if I had not taken it out earlier. Well, both of them probably would have been. This one's not anywhere near him, so... no problem there. These guys are the one reason that taking Har up to the north might be worth your time, so if they're out in like the middle of the water right there where you can't really reach them, then you can obviously just get them with Har as opposed to having to wait for them to run out and try to retreat back but not have enough room to. Really, from the north, once you've taken out the ballista, there's really nothing else there, because they've either gone and attacked the partner units and died, or they're in the process of attacking the partner units. Go ahead and use a vulnerary right there, for the simple fact that that ballista will probably go for Boydian and it'll do 9 damage, so... Short spear. That other guy probably has range too, but oh well. Har has cancel, by the way. I don't think I showed that off, but he does. Yeah, he's got a javelin. Oh, and he also has a steel lance. Well, maybe he'll be stupid and switch to it. I don't think he will, but you never know. The CPU has done some very strange things in its time. Nope, he didn't. Oh well. Yeah, there they come. I figured they'd go after me about now. The boss really is not that bad, though. Like I said, you don't have to beat him. You can just go straight to the arrive square and finish the map if you want to. I'd obviously recommend killing him, since he's really not that much of a threat. Come on, get him. Yeah, there you go. How many Cavaliers does it take to kill one archer? Yeah, here's why I said keep your units away from the very beginning of the map, right here. Because they will be killed by the Black Knight. Just like Chapter 13, if you've got anybody near that house. Now don't fight the Black Knight with Ike, because even now, you will not win. And it's not because Ike is not level 20, Lord or anything like that. That's not the reason why. His stats could probably take him on, maybe, I don't know. But it'll explain why you should not fight him at the end of this chapter, so... Let's go ahead and Brave Sword the enemy general right here. Now die! Yeah, I got another one of these throwaway bosses. His skill, I believe, is Nihil, which cancels your skill, so you can't use Ether on him, but since he's so weak, it really doesn't matter. So that easily gets rid of him. Wow, that was awesome. Very good level up. Would have liked the +1 for magic, would have rather wanted to go to resistance, but oh well, can't be helped. Yeah, there we go. And Harv's not in danger of getting attacked by the Black Knight on that square, but I'm going to move him over here anyway, just in case. And good, Bash can get rid of this guy. Yeah, dragons are also not weak to Elwind in Radiant Dawn either. Like I said, Thunder Magic is really their only weakness, but fortunately the enemy Dragon Riders are not that powerful. Yours can become crazy powerful, but that's beside the point. I need to stop talking about Radiant Dawn. I know I'm going to do that Let's Play later on, but it's not going to be immediately after this. Because you guys will be very, very sick of Fire Emblem by then. And Radiant Dawn is, like I've already said before, much, much longer than this game is. Alright, sorry about that random cut right there. Capture card died. Well, not really died, but sometimes my USB outlet kind of shorts out. Which is very, very annoying, but it doesn't really do anything. You just have to unplug the capture card, plug it back in, and it works just fine. Should probably try uninstalling and reinstalling the software, but I really just don't feel like doing that, so... whatever. Let's see if we can get Misty over there. Okay, good. That's what I thought. I was checking right there. Not sure if Geoffrey died, if it was a defeat condition, but I didn't think it was. Okay, nothing too serious right there, so I'm just gonna wait next turn and just use a heal staff. No point in wasting a physical on these guys. There are some reinforcement units that appear like one square down and to the left of Boyd and Ike. But they're really easy. They're like soldiers and like, I think, one bishop. They're really, really easy to kill, so... not something you have to worry about, just know that they're there. Or that they will be. Don't you think they'll show up this turn, probably? And don't worry, these guys won't try to steal your kill. Whenever they have all the units that are near them, once they've killed them all, they'll just go back. Let's go and get rid of the sniper, and that'll take care of the last ballista. Very good. Har should be able to take out one of these guys. Yep, no problem. And let's see, Steel Lance. Okay, yeah, let's go for the bishop here. What the... oh, Lumina. I thought that was a skill. I was like, huh? What the... we have Luna, which is, like, for Gatry, but... let's go ahead and get rid of this guy. I'm not worried about the Lance users. They got the weapon triangle disadvantage against Boyd anyway. And that should get racing to level up. Yes, it does. Alright, very nice. 30 resistance. Very, very good. If Rayson ever gets attacked by a mage or a sage, he's probably not going to get that much damage against it. If any at all. So one good thing about the Herons in this game, they do get really, really good resistance. We'll go ahead and heal this Halberdier. I brought Soren up here as well, also because Soren can use heal staves, so... Get a little bit of experience for Soren, really not that big a deal, but hey, why not? Let's see here. Okay, yeah, that heal staff has plenty of uses on it. Okay, we can't really do much anything else, so we'll just wait. Okay, I don't know why... Well, actually, I do probably know why that guy went for Boyd. Probably because he couldn't do any damage to Ike, and Har, he probably couldn't have done that much either. Plus, it's easier to hit Boyd than it would be for Ike or Rolf. Or, not Rolf, Har. Well, it'd be pretty hard to hit Rolf, too, but he's not over here. Come on, one-hit KO. Yeah! The Silver Axe is so good in this game. It's stronger than the Steel Axe, and it actually has better accuracy than the Steel Axe, too. There's a couple of bandits over there, but unless you just want to fight them, you don't really have to. Once again, though, experience, if you want it. And then we get Nihil, which is, I already talked about that, that will cancel other enemy skills, so... Like, let's say somebody had Adept where it allows them to go twice. If you fight them and you have Nihil, then there's no way they can pull off an Adept. Alright, level up, very nice. Boyd's almost capped out strength. His strength stat gets up to 30, so he's got 29 right now, so he's almost there. Go ahead and use this one more time. I don't think there's any other units besides those 3 that showed up in the Black Knight. Let's go ahead and heal the Valkyrie real quick with Mend. Like I said, she can heal other units, but she can't heal herself. Healers are not allowed to heal themselves. Let's see, are those the only ones left? 3, 1, yeah, those are the only units left, are those 3 bandits that showed up in the Black Knight, so... I guess we can go ahead and end the part right here. Well, the chapter, I should say. Yet another General of Daein is defeated. Well, he was a throwaway boss, so too bad for him. Even Petrine was really a throwaway boss. A lot of the really, you know, ones that are like, there's no way we can be defeated, you know. They overestimate their own team and underestimate us. Those are typically the throwaway bosses. So yes, continued support, of course. Free experience is always welcome to us. See, look at that. He stands up perfectly straight all the time. Wow, that chartreuse armor, man. That clashes so bad with his hair. I sound like a girl saying that. It clashes so bad with his hair. He should really switch to a different color. One of the conversations, I think it's in Radiant Dawn with Bastion, is so funny. Somebody says, I've never known someone who's talked so much yet said so little. Which is hilarious, because he always, like, over-exaggerates everything. It's like, just say what you mean, man. Seriously? I never noticed that knight over there, and you could see him to the right of Lucy. I never noticed that guy kneeling. There wasn't even a knight partner unit, so I don't know why he was there, but... Right here, essentially, it's just explaining why, you could not beat the Black Knight with Ike right now. But this is important, so go ahead and watch it. Why Ike's using an iron sword, I don't know, but... So the reason it doesn't work is because his armor is blessed by the goddess, so only weapons that are also blessed can scratch it. And then he asks if he possesses the sacred blade Ragnell, which is the counterpart to his blade, Alandite. Tell me you're not idiot enough to live in that place. So yeah, the sword, the one that he threw to Ike's father, that is Ragnell, which is Ike's actual weapon. Which Ike actually does have it with him. We don't have to go all the way back, thank goodness, but... he doesn't use it until he fights the Black Knight, which is chapter 28, I want to say. But that is it for this episode. So, next time on Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, we're going to continue on with chapter 25. See you guys then. Later.